kind of on the lookout for Junaid to come and help me, but I can't find him. But we won't get started without him. So
He ate and left.
he ate and left. You know that's what he came for. All right. So right now, you know, as Junaid was telling you guys before we had dinner, he was talking to you guys about, you know, the story of Al-Murabitun and how it is important to us and how, you know, how it affected us. And honestly, we just learned about this in less than a month, you know, before this event. And you know, it affected us, you know, to such a you know effect, you know, to such a tune that we, you know, it changed our whole life and the theme of the fundraiser. And yeah. So inshallah, we're going to talk about, you know, Tamkeen in the next year. I will go ahead and start off with the first thing. So now we have the YMCA as, you know, it's very important to us. And why the YMCA is so important to us is because, you know, and it gets us involved in the communities, and not just any community, like also the communities within, you know, within the, you know, the other communities around us. And you know, we get engaged, and it's very, you know, helpful. I'm sure Junaid can help us, you know, explain the reason why, you know, why the YMCA is so important.
Yeah. So, this is the time when, kind of like Abdalrahman saying, the reason we're gathered here, the reason we seduced you with all this good food and entertainment to come here tonight, is to talk about what Tamkeen means and what does it mean for us and what does it mean for the families of the Tamkeeners and how we can support Tamkeen. Because really at the end of the day, Tamkeen only exists and only continues to function because of the support and the dua from the families and the parents. So we want to give a little bit of a framework for what, you know, in terms of the fundraising that we're going to do, for the donations that we're going to ask, what really are we using that money to and where's that money going for? So the first thing that we want to do is continue being part of the YMCA Giving Campaign. So the YMCA Giving Campaign is the campaign where we contribute and donate a certain amount to the YMCA every year, and in return, we get to use their facility, which means once every month or so, we can go and have indoor place to play basketball, play soccer, play volleyball. They have a cooking little kitchen area where we practice our cooking skills, and then they have an entertainment section as well. So basically a really nice, cool place for the youth to spend their time and to spend their Saturdays, you know, in something that's, in an activity that's not just, you know, halal, but it's fun and it's also healthy for you. And so we want to encourage the kids to become healthy and strong. That's one of the mottos of Tamkeen. So that's why we want to continue to be part of this giving campaign for the YMCA. And some of the estimates of that is around $8,000 that we would like to contribute to the YMCA. And I know it's kind of a hefty amount, but they do provide us a lot as well. But really, the YMCA is just kind of a temporary solution, really, to be honest. Because really, what we would love to have for the future is something like this. If everyone can see on the screens here, this is our ideal home. This is like our future. This is like our ultimate goal.
Could you guys, if you have, you know, kids around, could you please just quiet down just for a few minutes, please? Jazakallah khair.
Alright. Sorry, so, as we were saying, our ultimate goal at Tamkeen is to have, like, you know, one of the dreams that Haytham mentioned is to have a multi-purpose, sort of full-on youth center that also acts as a musalla for the community that it's in, where it's a place where people come together and pray all the salawat, but at the same time it's a place where you can come and you can enjoy, and there's places and there's facilities that make it so that, you know, there's like a little soccer field over there, and there'll be nice indoor basketball courts, and a nice big sort of auditorium where we can have the halaqah, so that, you know, when Sheikh needs to roast someone, it can be in front of a huge audience, and we get a nice big scene out of that. Alhamdulillah. So this is our ultimate goal, inshallah. We're working towards it, inshallah. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, we will start sort of, we're already aggressively looking at different options and seeing what's out there. But inshallah, we'll give you guys more of an update as as the years go by and as we grow and get stronger and we have more of a financial power to pursue these goals. But this is our ultimate goal, inshallah.
Well, Junaid, I have a question for you. So back to the YMCA. Do I have to have a YMCA membership to participate in any YMCA activities?
No.
Oh, what?
Yep. If you come to the halaqah and then you just enter with this massive crowd of kids who walks through that door at the YMCA, no one's going to say anything because we'll be like, oh, we're with Tamkeen. And they will scratch their heads and be like, okay, go.
See, this is the power of Tamkeen.
This is the power of Tamkeen. Alhamdulillah. So the next thing that we want to fundraise for, this is something that's really, really important and really touched me a lot. So we want to have more amazing conferences similar to the one that we had earlier this year. So earlier this year, alhamdulillah, we had a conference that was literally organized and started from scratch by one of our own young Tamkeeners, Maryam K, who literally invited an international speaker, chose a topic, and the topic was science, Islam, and atheism. I mean, arguably the biggest question of our era, the thing that the youth struggle with the most in high school and in college. She had that determination, the same determination that revives that nation. And she said, we're gonna tackle these topics head on, and we're gonna talk about them, and we're gonna talk about how we as Muslims should be responding to these topics. And we got a lot of good feedback from the parents, and inshallah we're gonna, as the halaqah series continue to go on, we're gonna keep unwrapping some of these topics that were brought up to give kids a much clearer perspective on what happened. But really, what gets me the most about, why we are fundraising for something like this, is because we in Tamkeen, we're not just investing in a building. That building, that nice little picture I showed you, alhamdulillah, that's beautiful. And inshallah one day we'll get there, and inshallah one day we'll have our tarawih there, we can have iftar there, we can do all sorts of activities there, we can invite speakers, we can do all that stuff there. But at the end of the day, what makes Tamkeen powerful, what makes Tamkeen what it is the people in Tamkeen. And what we want to do as an organization is invest in the kids who come to Tamkeen. And one of the things we did is we invested in Maryam. We give her some guidance on how to sort of approach this topic. Sheikh, alhamdulillah, guided her through this process of how do you, organize an event, putting the schedule together, putting the agenda together, putting the activities together, getting the speaker to come, what are they going to talk about, all this stuff. And alhamdulillah, this is really a skill that you take and you don't just apply it in the masjid, you don't just apply it in your house. These are the skills that change nations. These are the skills that you need to make an impact and influence in society. And so, our dream is inshallah to have more events. There's so many more topics that the youth are facing. Inshallah, maybe we can have a conference on mental health where we get professionals who come and talk about mental health and the struggles that the youth face in mental health. Maybe we can have, we can raise enough money to be able to bring in some of the scholars, some of the well-renowned scholars, either from the United States or from overseas, who can talk about topics such as unity, for example. So there's a lot of potential, alhamdulillah, and a lot of good things that we can do, and a lot of activities and events that we can plan that will really impact and benefit the life of the youth because they're relevant topics that matter to them. All right. Also the next topic that we want to talk about, why we are fundraising. So one of the things that makes Tamkeen so exciting, besides the halaqah, which I, by the way, love very much, is the fact that we have awesome, fun activities that we get to do with people who are awesome and we enjoy being with them. And so sometimes, the activities, we for example had a workshop that was done last year where we partnered with CARE, so the Council on American Islamic Relations, who came and gave a whole conference, a whole day dedicated to just giving a workshop on bullying. Because bullying is something, I don't know if you know, it's rampant, that happens in schools a lot, and a lot of kids suffer, and sometimes they don't feel like they have anyone to talk to, or maybe, they don't feel as comfortable with their parents, to talk about it. So just a way to kind of raise awareness and, talk about some of the issues that matter to the kids. And so we want to do more classes like this. We want to do like maybe inshallah a self-defense class. Or you know, any other classes like we did one on coding. We can do a lot of different things. Even the possibilities are endless in terms of what we can do to give these kids skills that will benefit them, not just in their deen, but you know, in their livelihood in this dunya, which will actually eventually is part of your deen as well, in terms of becoming a useful and productive member of society.
And you know, also I wanted to add on to that is, not only do we just, you know, invite, you know, special speakers to talk about, you know, concerns in the youth and stuff like that. We know most of the, you know, the concerns that our youth have in our community. We not too long ago we did a thing called Open Your Heart, and most of the youth, you know, what Open Your Heart was is that youth would go onto our website. They would tell questions, you know, they'd, you know, open up and let us know any of their concerns, any questions, and it was all anonymous. And you know, I can have, you know, people who had access to these questions, you know, tell you all these, you know, kind of stories that we have, you know, within our community. And you know, these classes are very, you know, beneficial to us. We benefit a lot from it, and you know, it's a very good impact. You know, it's inshallah, you know, this is all for a great cause. So inshallah, I'll have Junaid, you know, continue on to the next point.
So this next thing, what we fundraise for is to do awesome activities, awesome fun activities. And what we try to do, you know, as a philosophy in Tamkeen, is we want to make it really hard for the parents to say no if someone says, can you please bring your kids to Tamkeen? We want to make it really awkward for you to say no, because we want to make it so that the activities are affordable, the timing is convenient, the carpooling is not a problem, nothing is a problem. We want to make it as easy as possible for the parents, because we realize the parents are already putting in so much effort and time. And you know, whatever we can do to alleviate the burden on the parents, we keep the parents in mind when we design, you know, when we design this program, and in a way that would, you know, encourage the kids to come and make it easy for the parents. So we want to keep the activities to the minimum, and really sometimes, you know, the way we attract more people to come, the way the kids really enjoy it, is having like awesome activities, but sometimes they cost a lot of money. So for example, the one on the right, on the left there, is a paintballing event. The last time we did that was like years ago, because it cost like $35, $40 a person to go. And so for a lot of people, for a lot of parents who have you know, many kids, I mean, it's just hard, it's not affordable, right? And so what we really want to sort of, you know, get some, you know, financial power behind us so that we can make these activities affordable for all the parents who would wish that their kids to be able to come, inshallah. And then, you know, next year we have an activity at the Washington State Fair, where I think it's Noor and Mahfouz who are dominating the scene, alhamdulillah, going on that roller coaster. So props to them, props to them, props to them. And then there's the snow tubing events. There's so many other events, like, I don't know, have any of you ever done like escape rooms? Everyone escape room? You got one hand here. Yeah, so like there's like so many like cool activities that we can do actually, besides just playing basketball and soccer, which are very fun. But like, it costs kind of a lot of money. So, you know, if we can get this financial power, inshallah, we can provide a lot more of these activities for the kids. We can do more paintballing, inshallah. We can do escape rooms. We can do rock climbing. So many other things. What other?
Why don't we do go-karting?
We should do go-karting.
Go-karting can definitely be a
Go-karting
thing.
is awesome, because it seems like the moment all the Tamkeeners are reaching 16, the first thing they're doing is getting their license. The first thing they're doing is trying to get, you know, drive the cars around. And, you know, it's like all the parents here know how much blood pressure medication increase you have to take. And, you know, it's a big thing. But alhamdulillah, you know, we have Noor, you know, started driving this year. We have, you know,
Many of our youth, you know, started off
my brother's
riding in the back
this
of our cars.
Yeah.
And then, subhanAllah, now we might be driving in the passenger seats.
Yeah. Just yesterday they were strapped back, you know, in the middle of car seat, and now they want to drive. So go-karting is something that's really fun that everyone likes to do as well, inshallah. All right, so the food is another thing. You know, food brings people together. This is a universal principle. Yeah, I think it's existed since probably Adam alayhi salam's time. Food brings people together, so we want to make sure we provide food, and so that nobody goes hungry. But you know, food costs money, and even nicer food costs even more money. So inshallah, that's one of the things that's on our agenda as well. We want to make sure we provide for the kids everywhere.
Well, let me get a show of hands of how many people thought today's food was good. Yeah, that's great.
Okay. All right.
So this food isn't cheap. So we try to minimize the cost of food as much as possible. Muhammad Ali, he taught us the culture in big events, whether it's camping, fundraising, dinners. He is against catering. Catering is a big red X, So we cannot do catering. And he always taught us, to manage ourselves and to cook for ourselves and show our talents. And I think this has gone off great, and I've tasted some amazing food. We've had some bad experiences. We've dropped a few chickens, but it's all good. Our plan B is always pizza. So. So yeah, and it's it's really good. So alhamdulillah, and we also not just that, we try to get creative with it sometimes. So not only we do just order food, we do potlucks, we do contests. So I know a lot of the girls here, they've participated in baking contests and in food contests, and it's all great, mashallah. So and I'm sure there's plenty more to come, and yeah. So Junaid will take us on to our next point.
All right. So the next thing we want to fundraise for is the car/van maintenance / insurance for the drivers. So this is, alhamdulillah, a point where I want to talk about what we did last year. So alhamdulillah, when we did our fundraiser last year, we raised enough money. We said, there's alhamdulillah, the program is growing. A lot of kids are coming. We don't have enough people to carpool them every week. And so we need a bigger van. We need vans. So alhamdulillah, we did the fundraiser to buy a van, and we got 2 vans, alhamdulillah. And now, so carpooling has become, alhamdulillah, much easier of a problem. Even though, by the way, we still have to have additional drivers in addition to the vans, because alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, by the blessing of Allah, the program is still growing, and there's still more and more kids coming. And so in the future, inshallah, there might be a 3rd van and a 4th van and a 5th van. But that'll be inshallah for another time to talk about. But we do want to mention that some of the maintenance on the vans costs money, and the insurance costs money, and we had to replace the tire on the van the other day. That also costs money, and it was a very interesting event for those who know. Alimahum and alim mujahidhum. That's hadith.
And yeah, one memory I wanted to share is that when I first started Tamkeen, Muhammad Ali would always talk to me about how there was this green minivan parked in the Fred Meyer parking lot, and just sitting there, and it was green. I was like, okay, why do we need a green van? Are we even going to use this? We should get rid of it. And subhanallah, within a short period of time, within 3 months, as the organization started growing, we actually needed the van. And I thought, oh, okay, we'll have one van will be enough. Many of us drive, we'll be good. But then, the organization kept on growing, so we needed more vans, and then we needed more drivers. So, alhamdulillah, this is, a very big blessing from Allah, and, and it's great, and we are able to do more activities, with these vans and more camps. This is very important in our weekly programs and our summer programs as well when it comes to our camps.
Yeah. So just as to touch base off of that, which is something that we've been referencing throughout, but I don't know if we explicitly mentioned. We also do a lot of camps in the summer. And we have Camp Moran, the family camp that's coming. We have some of the other camps, inshallah, that we've planned as well. And always, they always run out really quickly, and people really love them. So alhamdulillah, this is a thing that we do with as part of Tamkeen as well, and we appreciate your support. And that takes a lot of effort and time and money to get those places secured as well. So that's one of the things we do as well. So. So, inshallah, at this point, this is the kind of sort of main things that we mentioned is on our agenda in terms of what we're fundraising for. We want to go ahead and start with the actual fundraising process. Everyone's favorite, I know. Settle down. So we'll go ahead and pull up the different slides for that. Alright, so Bismillah. We are aiming, inshallah, tonight from all of our generous members to collect a goal, inshallah, of 20,000. This is our aim, inshallah, 20,000. We can do it because determination can revive a whole nation. And I see a lot of determination in this room. A lot of determination. A lot of people who have worked hard, have put in a lot of determination to get everything done and make this whole year really such an amazing and successful year. And so, which is why, without hesitation, inshallah, we would like to, first of all, open the floor and have, let's start off with a hadith, inshallah. So the Prophet ﷺ says, مَا مِنْ يَوْمٍ يُصْبِحُ فِيهِ الْعِبَادُ إِلَّا مَلَكَانِ يَنْزِلَانِ. There's not a single day that comes upon people except that two angels are sent down. وَقَالَ أَحَدُهُمَا اللَّهُمَّ أَعْطِ مُنْفِقًا خَلَفًا. Except that one of them says, Oh Allah, give the person who gives in sadaqah his reward. Oh Allah, give the person who gives his sadaqah an amazing reward. وقال الآخر اللهم أعطي ممسكا تلفا. Oh Allah, give the person who holds back destruction. And so inshallah we want to be among those people who the angels come and they say, when they see us give, inshallah, for something that is definitely for the sake of Allah, and something that's not just, when it comes to sadaqah jariyah and things that will benefit you even after you die, raising a whole generation of people that will spread Islam, that whole generation of people that will, solidify their deen and become a source of guidance and hope and love for the rest of humanity. I mean, this is, inshallah, definitely one of the highest forms of sadaqah. So, can I get someone who would be able to volunteer for $5,000, inshallah? Can we have a hand? Starting off high, aiming high here, inshallah. Can we get someone for $5,000, inshallah? 5,000? Anyone? Going once, going twice. Inshallah, just to hit back the point before we go down. In Tamkeen, one of my dream for Tamkeen is that one day, we raise more people like Maryam who can create conferences and who are tackling the issues of our time. So that one day when someone goes on Fox News and bashes the Muslims, we send a Tamkeener to Fox News to shut that person up. This is my dream. My dream is when an atheist comes and challenges the existence of God and says, what are you guys believing in all these fairy tales? We send a Tamkeener to shut him up. This is my dream. My dream is when we find out that there's a family, who's struggling, whose house may be burnt down, who lost their job, or someone, a family's broken up, someone got divorced, whatever has happened, there's kids going hungry, we send Tamkeeners their way and they solve the problem. This is my dream, and this is the Tamkeen that we're building today. And the people who start, it's always those people who are, have the highest reward in the sight of Allah. Why are the Sahaba the people that we say that even the Tabi'een, even the dust underneath the feet of the Sahaba, the Tabi'een cannot reach that? Why? Because they spent, they sacrificed at the beginning when it was the hardest. والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. So, just as a reminder, so there's pledge forms on all the tables, inshallah. So if you could fill those out, and please raise up your hand as we call out for each number, inshallah. And the pledge forms are there, so we will collect them after, inshallah.
And it's okay if you don't want to raise up your hand. It's totally fine. We have some Tamkeeners who will be walking around, and they'll collect envelopes and send them up to the tables. So if you have any envelopes and you'd like to keep your donation secret, it is totally okay. Just make sure to hand in all your envelopes to any Tamkeener that you see walking around with pens and papers in their hand. Jazakallah khair.
Alright, so one last time, 5,000. Anyone? The person, من سنة في الإسلام سنة حسنة فله أجر وأجر ما عمل بها. If there's anyone who is able... Oh, okay, you just counted the pledges? Okay. So if there's anyone who starts a good sunnah in Islam, he gets the reward and the word of those who follow with him after, inshallah. So 5,000 last time, going once, twice, 3 times. Alright, inshallah, we'll go down to 3,000. Anyone able, inshallah, to give $3,000 for the sake of Allah, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of the next generation, inshallah? $3,000, inshallah? Anyone going once, going twice, going thrice? Do you have a short story to share?
Well, I mean, your money will never go short. No, it doesn't matter how much you give. Allah will always put barakah in your money. And I've honestly, personally experienced this. I thought, giving money might, affect me very hard. But every time I always give money, I always notice that there is barakah in my money and in what I give, whether it's going to be in this time or in the akhirah. So please, you don't have to hesitate into donating. But Junaid, I want to ask you. So if I were to donate $3,000, what would $3,000 do to Tamkeen?
What would $3,000 do to Tamkeen? Oh boy. So, everything that we mentioned so far, I mean, every single little thing that's contributed, goes towards that cause, and it increases, all the things that we're able to do. We're able to get more events. We're able to educate the youth more. We're able to build the skills of the youth more. I mean, this is literally, inshallah, investing in the next generation. $3,000 can go a long way, inshallah. And anything that's left over is not just like sitting there. Like, it's going to our fund, inshallah, so that down the line, when we have that power, we buy a place, we buy a land, we purchase a land, we go and we branch out, and we build this ultimate vision of ours to have a place where the youth feel comfortable, to have a place where the youth can go and meet other Muslims and not feel judged, and a place where the youth can go and feel like, yeah, it's okay, I can come here, I can pray salah, and right after that I can chill, I can go in and play some ping pong, I can play some soccer, I can do some other activities, things that are halal, with people who will make sure that you stay on the halal, inshallah.
I also have Maryam who would like to add on to this.
So, I noticed that many of you guys aren't really willing to donate that much money. And that's okay, it's totally understandable, especially after tax day just passed. So, whew, okay. Anyway, but imagine how much the money you donate will help our cause, will help Tamkeen to better your children and to better the children of their children. Just $1 even, just that $1 will go into your hasanat, will go into the hasanat where Allah will look at them and be like, look what his dollar did. His dollar revived a whole nation, and they all became Muslim. They all became Muslims who were steadfast on their deen. So even if you guys are not willing to publicly announce your donations, I hope that you're really looking at those pledge forms and willing to make a donation.
That's our superstar Maryam. She did an amazing job holding the conference. Yeah, I mean, there was of course a fair share of criticism that I think she took like a real strong Muslim, and she improved on that. And alhamdulillah, we have only nothing but du'as for her, inshallah, for her future as well. So inshallah, one last time, going for 3,000. Do we have anyone for 3,000, inshallah? Do I see a hand waving? No, yawning, waving, stretching, anything? Oh, yes.
So this money that you were... Okay. So this money that you're giving, you go to your job, you work, and you finally get your paycheck. And we are still in this dunya. We are still in this dunya. And our goal was to get the akhirah, like I said in my speech. We are supposed to worship Allah. And donating to Tamkeen will give you hasanat and help strengthen our ummah. So, once you donate or do something in our Tamkeen community, you are helping not just this generation, but all the next generations to help for the next move.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar, mashallah, mashallah.
Thank you so much. Whoa. If you look at the thermometer, we're
all right. We're halfway, people. Halfway, people. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Takbir. Tamkeeners, takbir. That's what I'm talking about. So, Another thing just to mention, by the way, Microsoft and many other companies match your donations. So if you're able to give, at 1,500, that could count towards being a $3,000 donation, inshallah. So 3,000? No.
We are a 501c3 organization. So yes, your company, if your company matches a non-profit, I will take care of it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. But before we go on to the next number, inshallah, I want to mention the ayah, which for some reason is like the wajib, to be recited before every fundraiser, which we have somehow missed. So we'll get to it. الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء. Spending in the cause of Allah is like the seed, and it brings forth from it 700 different. What's the best way to translate that?
You're the best at that.
Basically, it's like one seed, and it brings forth 700, and from each of those 700, you get 700 more. And on top of that, Allah says, this is just an example. Allah just giving you an example. If Allah wants, He can do as much as He wants. He can increase as much as He wants for you. And so spending in the path of Allah, وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يُوَفَّ إِلَيْكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تُظْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantees you that when you spend in the sake of Allah, that does not, everything that you do is benefiting yourself. When you give in sadaqah, it's actually benefiting yourself before anyone else, and that wealth will somehow be returned to you. What does that mean? Come.
We have more special guests
All right.
coming up.
So,
Join us.
what does that mean? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna get it with you. But what does that mean that wealth will return back to you? If you spend like $20,000 on a car, and next thing you know, you get into an accident, you spend $5,000 on repair. That's $25,000 you spent. But if you give $5,000 in sadaqah, you don't realize, but that's actually gonna save you money down the line. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you from having to go through these difficulties, so that money that you were going to spend anyway.
Okay.
Hello. Was I saying something about Islam and something?
Yeah, you spent $25,000 on a car.
Yeah, I spent $25,000 on a car, basically. But if you give sadaqah, that becomes a means by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevents calamity from hitting you. And sometimes you'll find barakah in a car that you'll see that car runs for you years and years and years because you gave a little bit of sadaqah before you bought that car, for example, inshallah. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will place these blessings back in your life, and that's why we have trust and tawakkul in Allah when He says and He guarantees that وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ شَيْءٍ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يُوَفَّ إِلَيْكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تُظْلَمُونَ. Alright, so eat the microphone, eat it. Just eat it.
Okay, I just wanted to say that when you're donating, it really helps a lot because Tamkeen, it's been through a lot. It started off with only 3 or 5 people, and it was just me and my couple siblings that I had. And I just wanted to say that when you donate, Tamkeen, it started off as really little people, and the donations that you put into this.
Yeah, like it's those little acts that got us here. Like we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for those people who took those big steps and made sure that we were able to be in our spot today, and we were able to have a halaqah each Saturday and an activity and a ride in all the vans and our friends and everything. So
I mean, like, especially the holidays themselves, they're really beneficial to us. Like, and we learn a lot from them. It's very, good, I guess.
thank you.
These are our next up-and-coming, Tamkeeners, which, by the way, we swear to God, none of the admins asked them to do this. We did not plan this last night while we were up at 3 a.m., half asleep, half rehearsing. Alhamdulillah. This is something that, just organically, the kids who are in the audience, the youth are the next generation. They're seeing it for themselves and they're feeling it for themselves, and that's what's making them come up and do this. This is completely spontaneous, by the way. We are, oh my God, ooh, look at that.
All right.
All right, we're gonna raise the goal now. Forget it, the goal is not 20,000 anymore.
All right. So, just to let you know, we understand we're almost at our goal, but it's always nice that we achieve our goal and we go even further. So next year, inshallah, we can ask for 30,000. Yes, maybe even 40. So inshallah, Allah, we never know. But we understand, the money that we might be asking for might be a lot for a one-time commitment. We also have monthly donations on the pledge forms. So, yeah, closer. Okay, we have monthly donations on the pledge forms. So if you think the amount that you want to donate is too much, and you want to divide it amongst over monthly periods of time, that's totally okay, and we can take care of that, and we can set up monthly subscriptions for you.
Well, we're gonna give Kareem one last chance, inshallah, and then we'll come back to. I think there's a fundraiser going on too. So yeah.
Well, this is
So, the saying, it takes a child to raise a village. Tamkeen is basically our child, and our community is the village. So, if we need to care for that, and look at all that, this is our teamwork. And so, Tamkeen is our child, and this is the village. So if we keep on nurturing it, donating, and doing all these good things, we'll raise the child.
Yes, we shall raise the child. Thank you so much. May Allah make more and more of Kareems, inshallah, to be made, inshallah, from Tamkeen, inshallah.
inshallah. Ameen. Abdalrahman? Oh my God, Abdalrahman Azzi.
All right, guys.
Abdalrahman Azzi, what do you have to say to the crowd? You want to tell them a hadith, but really close to your mouth. Come up here, come up here.
ما نقص مال من صدقة, which means that your money does not decrease if you give sadaqah. So if you're worried about your money will go back to you and you will have even more barakah in your money.
Allah.
Inshallah, takbir. Allahu Akbar, takbir. Allahu Akbar. ما نقص مال من صدقة. Sadaqah never decreases your wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Sadaqah does not decrease your wealth. Alhamdulillah, so we stopped at, I guess it was 3,000. So can we have, alhamdulillah, very, extremely silent donors who are donating a lot of money, like silently, alhamdulillah, may Allah increase you fi dunya wal akhirah. But we need to get some people, like Uthman bin Affan. When the Prophet ﷺ gets up and says, who is going to raise this army that needs to go to Tabuk? And Uthman bin Affan, pretty much one man says, I'm going to make this army. And the Prophet ﷺ looks at him and he says, after this day, Uthman can do whatever he wants, he goes to Jannah. It takes a lot of power, it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of strength to give, especially in times when it's difficult. So, can I get anyone for, inshallah, 3,000? 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Alright, so inshallah we'll move down. 2,000. 2,000. Can I get anyone show of hands for 2,000, inshallah? We are so close to that goal. We cannot be leaving that little small white rectangle that has to be filled. In fact, the thing has to go above the page. Hello? Okay. Alright, so let's make it so that that green thermometer actually goes and spills above the screen from the TV and goes into the wall. Inshallah. Can we get anyone for 2,000, inshallah? 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 going once. Alright, let me mention one more hadith, inshallah.
Wait, hold on, let me stop you.
Okay.
I have a special guest. I would like to welcome Rayyan Salama to come up on stage and share his thoughts.
Hold it like a rapper.
It's on. Yeah.
So, I just want to say that anything that you spend, it comes back to you like if you spent $10, it'll come back as 20. For example, in the Quran it says, إن تبدوا الصدقات فنعما هي وإن تخفوها وتؤتوها الفقراء فهو خير لكم ويكفر عنكم من سيئاتكم والله بما تعملون خبير. So not only will it be given back to you, but it'll also write off some of your sins. Who doesn't want to go to Jannah because they spent $10, so some of their really bad sins are gone, so they go to Jannah.
MashaAllah. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Get these takbirs in, man. Alright. Next, inshallah, we'll do a quick one for Maya Ali, inshallah. And then afterwards, we'll have one of the parents who would like to.
So, whoever wants these Jordans, you guys gotta, because these Jordans are come to nothing. So, if you guys really want to step up for a game, we gotta, know what to do.
We need Tamkeen.
Donate for the Jordans. The Jordans gonna come in, inshallah. Okay, so inshallah we'll have Abu Mariam, inshallah.
Let's go, Baba!
Wallahi, this message is not prepared, but I have to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you a very short story, and it's a true story, and Allah is my witness. I kept, for the last 2 years, asking that wonderful gentleman, Muhammad Ali, how does he sustain this effort? He kept telling me it's working. I says, do you have a fee? He says, it kept telling me it's working. You can ask him how many times I asked him, and sometimes we neglect or actually forget to pay maybe like a month fees or pay just the kids, admissions. And I just felt that it has to be really something of a miracle that you want to sustain this organization and operation by itself because of the fact that we are investing in the hardest age of those kids that you want to make sure that they stay on the right path. Kids are actually facing not the same situations and not the same conditions we faced when we were in that age because they are actually confronted with middle school and high school and they have a completely different, view of life than we have as Muslims. So this message is for the Tamkeeners. You guys should be very, very proud of yourselves. You've made everybody here, his heart actually jiggles and thinking that this is not actually going to be going that small anymore. It's most probably going to go to a bigger staff. That's most probably going to go over states and nationwide. I'm looking at those numbers. We're always donating silently, but this is actually going to have to go bigger than that. I know I asked them, let's just make a fee, do something that people are going to be remembering, and you guys should be very, very proud. I send my daughter and my kids not to really have a peace of mind on the weekends. I send them because I know when they come back, they have a different vision. I talk to my daughter all the time and she tells me we have to do this and this and this and this, and I sit down with her and I help her back and forth. But I tell you, this is the most important thing that you want to invest in that age. This age, I've been living here for 30 years in the East Coast. Everybody above 11 is wasted. He's gone somewhere else. He's not even having the attention of Islam and the right path of understanding. And we teach these kids first the morals. They have to get together. They understand and learn from each other. They know for sure that every week, I actually wait for Saturday myself. Sometimes it's very hard, but I wait for Saturday because that's the best time where you have your kids really have a value of education in the right path of Islam. Jazakumullah khair.
Let's get a big takbir on this one. Takbir!
All right, so what's the gap that we have between the green mark and our goal? A little over 1,000?
Okay, so
guys, we have a little over 1,000. I'm sure we can get this, we can get this gap filled in. Inshallah. Who would like to finish the gap? I'll just put it out there.
all right, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The gap is filled. The gap is filled. But the fundraiser must go on. Why? Because more Tamkeeners want to say stuff. So, alhamdulillah. Come on up. It's not a maximum, by the way. 20,000, that's a minimum. So inshallah.
What's a better way to start off Ramadan? Like, what's a better way to start off Ramadan than donating? Like, try to donate so how Tamkeen, so Tamkeen can have some fun activities in our dream mansion that has a soccer court and our own swimming pool, you know? In our dream Jordans, you know, Maria Ali's dream Jordans.
Get the Jordan, especially a lot of people, like Muslims from my school or whatever, they don't really have a lot of Muslim friends and stuff, because they don't really have anything to go to. And like Tamkeen, it's like started this thing where you can have a group of friends where you can learn about your deen. And also, I like how the youth mostly do anything because the youth is the next generation. We're not going to have a lot of adults to be looking after, so Tamkeen's youth-led, and the youth really do a lot of things that help, so especially the adults.
Let me give you, inshallah, one other hadith, inshallah, hopefully to spice it up a little bit, just to get that last little bit of itch out of you, inshallah. جاء رجل إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال أي الصدقة أفضل أي الصدقة أعظم أجرا. A man came to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم and he said, O Messenger of Allah, which type of sadaqah is the best? Which type of sadaqah is the best? فقال عليه الصلاة والسلام, so the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم told him, أنت صدق وأنت صحيح شحيح تخشى الفقر وتأمل الغنى. That you spend in the path of Allah when you're healthy. Why? First thing, when you're healthy. Why does he mention healthy? Because when you get old and when your back starts hurting, your things start cracking, everything starts popping, then when you feel like, oh my God, my time's about to be up, then you start thinking, oh yeah, let me give some sadaqah, make sure, on my way out. Even people like on their deathbed, when you get afflicted or you hear bad news about your health, then you say, oh yeah, now I'm going to give sadaqah, now I'm going to give sadaqah, hopefully, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cure me. At this point, this is not the best type of sadaqah. Because this is the time where you're kind of on the edge of the cliff. And you're doing whatever it takes to get off, to make sure that you save yourself from that. But the real sadaqah is when you're feeling healthy, shahid, and when it's hard to give, when you feel greedy, when you have that investment, in your stock market that's still there, it's going pretty good, you don't want to take it out. When you have that next car that you want to buy, and you've been saving up 2-3 years to buy that car, you don't need a car, maybe, or you could definitely get by with something that's just pretty good, but not as good, but not as expensive. But you're like, oh, I really like that Lexus, man. Oh, I really like that Tesla, dude. You see that new model? Oh, so that kind of stuff. That time when you feel like, I want to do something that I like, but you say no. The sadaqah, giving charity, is more important at this time. This is the best sadaqah. وَتَخْشَى الْفَقْرَ. And and you're giving sadaqah at a time when you're fearing poverty. A time when you feel like, oh my God, there's so many bills, oh my God, this is going to happen. If I give an extra 500 here, if I give an extra 1,000 here, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if? This is the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decreed your rizq, and He is the one who will provide, inshallah. And He is the one who guarantees and says, when you give in sadaqah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return it. If anything, that sadaqah will make it so that you don't get that bill, or they become easy and lenient on refusing the bill, or they don't charge you interest, or you were gonna have that mechanic do a repair and he just does it for free for you. This is where the barakah of the sadaqah will come in, inshallah. And ta'mulul ghina, when you really want to, when you're getting close to becoming rich, and you're having all these investments, all this good stuff, but you decide to sacrifice that and give sadaqah for the sake of Allah. This is the sadaqah a'zamu ajran 'inda Allah. The most reward in the sight of Allah. So, where are we even at? Okay. So, basically we've reached 20,000, which means the night is just getting started. Oh, I was just told we actually have to wrap up. We'll continue. Okay, so let's jump down, inshallah. Rapid fire rounds. 1,000. Can we get anyone? Hands for 1,000, inshallah. 1,000. You can always increase whatever you pledged by 1,000, inshallah. Can we get any hands for 1,000? 1,000? So going down, 250 inshallah, 250. Can we get any hands for 250 inshallah?
It's going up.
250, yeah, no, it's not 1,250.
One last donor before dessert.
All right, one last donor before dessert. You will be the person who opens Abwab al-Khair, aka dessert. If you want to be the key that opens the door to the dessert, inshallah. 250. Anyone want to increase their donation, inshallah, that they maybe have already pledged by $250, inshallah. $250, inshallah. Do we need to get another Tamkeen to get up here and convince of another 250? Unfortunately, we are very short on time and we are being like choked by our throats due to time constraints. Can we get to one last 250? 250, 250? Silent donors? A quick 100? Oh, this is discount, Black Friday. Oh, Black Sunday, or something. My mom really hates when I say Black Friday, by the way, just so you know. She's like, oh, it's a Muslim day. All right, let's get one last one, inshallah.
Yeah, one last more speech for Nadeem.
So, that which is our community, and the child, Tamkeen, itself, the organization, not the people. We have raised it, and look at that, we have reached our goal. And now that child is going to grow up and help us. Sort of like how when you raise a child, he's going to grow up and help you. Sort of like how Tamkeen is going to benefit us. We're going to be the next one.
Allah.
I just want to say that Allah in the Quran, He also says, الذين ينفقون أموالهم في الليل والنهار سرا وعلانية فلهم أجرهم عند الله فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. So basically people that donate at night in the day and night, you know, like in front of people or like all by themselves, like in secret. Like they have no reason to grieve or be sad or be scared at all. So Allah's always with them. So I have another. So I have another story about when I donated about last Ramadan. I actually donated a couple of dollars, but there was this hadith talking about how every time you donate, you receive 5 times, 10 times, or even more back from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and so you won't ever lose money. And like I forgot the hadith exactly, but trust me on this. Like I already have personal experiences of this, and I really believe in it, and that you should donate even more money because you won't lose anything at all, and you will always gain it back.
Yeah, so kind of, short on time, Jazakallah khairan for all of your contributions. Now, inshallah, we're going to move on to dessert. We have some dessert ready. It's going to be served in the back, inshallah. And is the dessert ready? Anybody from the back? It's ready? Okay, so dessert's ready. We can, let people go up and eat and grab plates of dessert and then come back. We'll have a little short video. Oh, we're serving the dessert? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Everybody stay seated. We're going to serve the dessert and we're going to show a video on the TV of, what we did in Tamkeen this past year. Can anybody get lights?
as we're waiting for lights, the desserts are coming in, inshallah. So eat desserts and enjoy yourself, inshallah. We have a little bit more entertainment. Ooh. And
صلاة الفجر.
Honestly. What are you scared of? Honestly. Is my dad here? Yeah, honestly, so you don't become a Tamkeen.
Sorry, no.
يلا شباب صلاة الفجر.
Honestly. What are you scared of? Honestly. Is my dad here? Yeah, honestly, so you don't become a Tamkeen. Wake up! Yeah, honestly, so my dad doesn't come in with me.
يلا يوسف. Make sure بس ايه ما تنطوش. Good job. Good job. Actually we made progress.
أنست بأهل هم إخوة رعوني بحب وإكرام فلله شكري غزير العطاء سأبقى فخورا بإسلامي سأبقى فخورا بإسلامي وأنا الظامي هداني إلهي بعيد العمى بدين عظيم هو السامي بدين عظيم هو السامي وجدت هناء وذقت الرضا وزالت عن القلب آلامي أنست بأهل بحب وإكرام فلله شكري غزير العطاء سأبقى فخورا بإسلامي سأبقى فخورا بإسلامي فمنه ارتويت وأنا الظامي هداني إلهي بإسلامي سأبقى فخورا هداني إلهي هم إخوة رعوني بحب وإكرام فلله شكري غزير العطاء
Jump. Jump. Out. Lay in the water. Whoop. If you're close. Oh no, it's robot.
Jazakallah khairan for watching the video. Desserts are still being put out on trays.